As a world-class leading technology company, we want to be the place people want to work. Over a year ago, Lumen took on a transformational journey. When we started to bring business and IT together, we really needed to think differently, drive an anything is possible mentality, and challenge our teams, whether it's in how we collaborate, how we set up our systems, or how we deliver the customer experience. Microsoft and Workplace Analytics have been at the core of ensuring we bring new insights and give us a quantitative mechanism to then validate either what we think or what we know from our results we're seeing. It's eliminated the emotion and also brought to the surface what we thought might be true, but here are the actual facts. Sales is the crux and foundation of the success of any organization. When we looked at how we could leverage best practices of our top performing sales, we needed to think differently. Externally, how do we collaborate with our partners and customers that are at the core of our success? By focusing and spending more time with them is directly related to your results. Workplace Analytics gained insights for us to see how we internally collaborate and really allowed us to understand the types and the lengths of meetings with each other. It also allowed us to understand where is the friction that potentially is creating internal collaboration where it's not necessary. Coaching and onboarding is important. Workplace Analytics really brought that to the forefront with the sales leadership teams. It's simple. Take 30 minutes on a weekly basis, regardless of tenure or role, your salespeople will be more effective, period. By combining Workplace Analytics with our CRM, we were able to understand real-time new insights with the historical and legacy knowledge that gave us the ability to look across categories and become smarter at how to drive top performance in our sales organizations. For the first time, we have real-time information being fed to our sales leaders to see what's working, what's not, and how should you pivot. Personally, I love it because it brings technology into the conversation. It breaks us out of the mold of how we've always done it and puts the anything is possible mentality as part of the equation. Anything truly is possible. You just have to change the way you think about it.
Hello, and welcome to Thrive Through Disruption and Reimagine the Future with Workplace Analytics. My name is Anu Challa, and I'm a program manager on the Workplace Intelligence team at Microsoft. Later in the session, I'll be joined by my colleague, Binyan Chen, as well as special guest, Jason Piccoli. In this session, we'll take a deeper look at how the analyst role in Workplace Analytics helps business leaders solve complex problems, such as keeping business resilient when faced with disruption, and planning the return to work sites as leaders reimagine the future. We'll also see how companies can bring their own data to Workplace Analytics to make their insights even more powerful.
So far, 2020 has been marked by change and adaptation. When companies around the globe were forced, seemingly overnight, to shift how they worked, millions of business leaders, managers, and employees went to great lengths to adapt. Kitchens became boardrooms. Children, dogs, and cats became office mates. And collaboration tools became lifelines. For everyone from frontline workers to knowledge workers, the words productivity, balance, and resilience took on new meanings. These rapid responses helped people and organizations stay productive, meet customers' needs, and keep business moving. But there was a cost to that agility. In a survey between March and April of 2020, more than 40% of individual contributors, managers, and C-level employees reported decreased mental health. Nearly 70% reported higher stress levels, and well over half reported elevated levels of anxiety. Our agility has taken a toll on our well-being. What if we could treat well-being as a catalyst of productivity and resilience, rather than a cost? Our collective response to COVID-19 introduced possibilities we didn't think existed, disrupting long-held beliefs and norms about work. It taught us that we can reimagine how we work for the long term. Your business looks very different today than it did 6 months ago, and more change lies ahead. You responded in the moment, and now is your opportunity to build a more resilient business as you navigate recovery and plan for the future of your business in a very different world. As you redefine and reinvent processes and become more efficient, as you identify new growth opportunities, as you discard the habits that no longer fit into the new normal, you're going to introduce a host of changes. And those who will navigate your business through these changes are your people. Your leaders and your managers will guide them. But it's not easy. With added personal, family, community, and professional stressors, employees need the support of their organizations to ensure that the culture at work not only enables people to be productive, but also supports their well-being so they can thrive. If we want our businesses to thrive in the new normal, we need to conscientiously build work cultures that foster well-being. And that process starts with insight. Insight into how people work, how they connect, collaborate, and spend their time working towards the outcomes you care about. Insight into the hurdles that slow innovation or keep you from bringing new value to market. Insight into how people are adapting and managing along the way. Traditionally, of course, the challenge has been getting access to the signals that inform these insights. Now we've unlocked the power of the Microsoft Graph to help companies understand how work gets done, empowering them to explain and predict the impact of day-to-day actions on the outcomes they care about and the well-being of their people. With insight into empowerment, connectedness, engagement, autonomy, and influence, we're giving companies the tools they need to respond to disruption, embark on a path to recover and grow, and plan for a reimagined future. We've been bringing these insights to our customers through Workplace Analytics and My Analytics. Now, we're doubling down on our commitment to productivity and well-being with some new features in Workplace Analytics that I'm excited to share with you. In this session, we'll take a closer look at the analyst experience in Workplace Analytics and how it can help achieve business outcomes for leaders. Workplace Analytics has tools and dashboards built to deliver value to business leaders very quickly. For most customers, this is just the starting point in their journey. The Analyst Workbench and flexible query engine allow you to generate reports tailored to your specific business challenges. Pairing Workplace Analytics data with other data sources, such as employee engagement survey data or CRM data, make these insights even more powerful. For example, combining insights with survey data helps organizations understand how work-life balance, workload, autonomy, and empowerment influence engagement. Our customers, and we at Microsoft, have used Workplace Analytics to plan better workspaces, optimize key business processes, improve sales outcomes, and understand the factors that lead to more engaged and successful employees. In this session, we'll explore 3 scenarios. You'll see how Workplace Analytics dashboards for business continuity and return-to-work planning generate value very quickly with insights to help people and teams navigate disruption and plan for limited capacity worksite openings.
Now let's take a look at how Workplace Analytics analyst tools are helping business leaders understand how their organization is responding to disruption and adapting to a new way of working.
Workplace Analytics offers a number of pre-built queries, many of which also include Power BI templates. This makes it very easy to quickly generate dashboards that can be shared with business leaders. The new Power BI application for Teams makes it even easier to access and share these dashboards, as well as engage in real-time discussion about the results. These insights help companies quantify the impact of change on teams and individuals, understand how ways of working are evolving in response, and measure the cultural aspects of work that impact personal well-being and effectiveness. Today's work environment can easily create a sense of imbalance, fragmentation, and stress. Insights from the Business Continuity Dashboard help organizations understand how collaboration patterns have changed. Here I can see that across the organization, weekly collaboration hours are up 24%. It's an even more dramatic uptick when I drill into the HR team. I see their time spent messaging in Teams is up 107%, as well as an overall increase in collaboration hours. I can also see a significant uptick in weekly collaboration and workweek span, with nearly half of all employees seeing an increase of at least 4 hours in weekly collaboration time, and 18% of the organization has seen their workweek span increase by at least 8 hours. I can see the engineering team has had an even bigger uptick. More than half the team has seen an increase of more than 4 hours a week, which is likely a big factor in their expanding work week. For nearly a quarter of the team, it has increased by more than 8 hours. They've essentially tacked on another working day each week. This dashboard helps leaders in the organization quantify the impact of work-life integration by comparing after-hours collaboration activity against baseline norms. Not only can I see that there has been an 81% increase in after-hours work for the marketing team, I can see when that work is happening, and more specifics about what that collaboration looks like. While the majority of work is still happening within standard business hours, I can see that there is significant email and IM activity that stretches into the evenings. It's more important than ever for employees to remain engaged and maintain a sense of connectedness. This snapshot provides visibility into groups at risk of feeling isolated or disconnected from the rest of the organization. With this report, leaders get visibility into how work patterns are evolving and what might warrant further investigation. For instance, an uptick in collaboration hours could represent a transition from ad hoc hallway conversations to a more formal meeting cadence as employees transitioned to remote work. I also see that both workweek span and after-hours collaboration have increased. This may reflect a commingling of work and personal commitments, but it could indicate an overburdened workforce that doesn't have enough time to get their work done. I'm also concerned about the number of employees who no longer have regular one-on-ones with their manager, which I know is critical to employee engagement. The Business Continuity Dashboard also provides actionable guidance for making work better and setting up people for success. For example, a 4+ hour increase in weekly collaboration and workweek span for 28% of employees strongly suggests that people are stretched over capacity. To help address this challenge, leaders are offered links to research, articles, and best practices that can help create a strategy for bringing positive change to their organization. The Business Continuity Dashboard has helped many of our customers understand how their people have responded to and adapted to disruption and change.
We've seen how leaders can get tactical about responding to disruption. This will be an ongoing challenge for everyone as we face the uncertainty that lies ahead. And workplace analytics is keeping up, because for many leaders, there's a new issue on the horizon: how to get employees back to work sites.
Businesses around the globe are slowly moving out of the mandatory work-from-home stage into limited capacity or soft openings, which means that offices will be open, but with limited seating in order to maintain employee safety and observe local social distancing requirements. The amount of planning associated with the soft opening of each individual worksite globally is extensive, subject to local conditions and constantly changing, with little previous history to guide it. Microsoft is providing organizations with access to free tools to inform when worksites can safely open and monitoring tools to ensure safety once they are open. Visit aka.ms/return to work to download the Return to the Workplace solution. Once the decision to open a location is made, organizations are faced with a number of planning decisions. Each leader on a worksite wants a say over how many of their employees come back and how. So having access to data can help make critical decisions easier and more aligned to business outcomes.
To show how leaders can use workplace analytics to plan their return to work sites, here's Binyan Chen.
Thank you, Anu. Now let's look at the Return to Work Power BI template, which provides an objective and data-driven approach. As you can see here, it provides two different types of seat allocation plans that can optimize for on-site collaboration. So what we do here is we look at each person's weekly collaboration hours with other people that are in the same worksite or building. Then we determine the on-site versus off-site collaboration ratio for each team. Based on that, we rank these teams, so the teams that will benefit most from return to work will be ranked the highest. In order to use that, you need to know two different things. The first being the number of people that are permitted in each location, as well as the number of essential employees who will return to work regardlessly. We will subtract that number from the first number. Now let's look at the first allocation option, where the highest ranked group gets to return to work first. Based on the permitted number of people that you provided, we help you determine where the cut line is. All you need to do is to choose the location filter. This really simplifies the decision making, and it works better in a situation where certain teams will come back into work in their entirety, whereas some other teams will continue to work remotely. The second plan here is more democratic. It allocates seats in proportion to the number of employees in each team. We basically calculate the percentage based on each team's on-site collaboration ratio, in which case, it could happen that a smaller team with higher on-site collaboration may get more allocation than a much larger team. So this plan provides each team with some presence within the limited capacity worksite, but it requires the team to decide which employees to return. The benefit of it is that it captures a greater majority of estimated on-site collaboration. So far, I have demonstrated a way to determine who to return to work first. But more complex scenarios can be explored through Microsoft services using Azure templates. For instance, a more granular look at collaboration patterns that considers not just overall on-site collaboration patterns, but as well as cross-functional versus insular collaborations as well. Or scheduling alternating shifts while still ensuring co-location of groups with high collaboration, floor plans that optimize cross-team collaboration, and meeting space options that will support on-site safety protocols. Okay, that's all I want to show regarding the Return to Work Power BI template. Now let's get back to Anu.
Thanks, Binyan. Now that we've seen two examples of business continuity and return to work sites, of how pre-built queries in Power BI templates can offer immediate value to business leaders, let's see an example where combining workplace analytics insights with other data sources makes them even more valuable. With our guest, Jason Piccoli.
Jason is a lead business intelligence analyst with Lumen Technologies, formerly known as CenturyLink. And he's going to show us how they are using workplace analytics to improve sales productivity. Here's Jason.
Hi, everyone. This is Lumen's, formerly known as CenturyLink's, workplace analytics dashboard built in Einstein Analytics Plus. This product was built in partnership with our sales operations organization and with the endorsement of sales leadership. The goal here was to provide an on-demand visualizations to our operations folks in an effort to empower them to mine actionable information from workplace analytics collaboration data so that they can create processes that will reduce corrupt internal collaboration, increase coaching time for our sales professionals, and allow Lumen to spend more time focusing on our customers. This dashboard is built within Einstein Analytics Plus, which is Salesforce's business intelligence platform. It integrates seamlessly with our Salesforce instance so that our sales operations and leadership don't have to swivel chair to a different application to view WPA metrics. We've divided this dashboard into 5 main components: the scorecard view, which is currently displayed, views for each of our collaboration metrics that we are exploring, internal collaboration, external collaboration, and one-on-one coaching. And finally, a getting started section that will provide operations and leadership with the tools they need to use this product successfully. Within the scorecard, we can pivot between 2 different organizational views, as well as the combined organization in aggregate. Each of the 3 collaboration metrics displayed on the scorecard display current year and last month averages that color red or green based on if we hit or missed our best practice targets. It also displays year-to-date spark lines to give an idea on how these metrics are trending over time. Our Getting Started section is meant to orient our customers so that they can get the most value from this product. On the right are links to brief Microsoft Teams videos that will walk them through a variety of conceptual or practical uses for this dashboard, as well as hyperlinks to our sales enablement resources and the Microsoft Workplace Analytics homepage. Getting Started is broken into 3 views: Overview, which displays general information about the dashboard; Definitions, which defines key terms used within the dashboard; and Sponsorship, which gives our customers the ability to escalate questions or issues to the appropriate resource. The 3 main metric views are set up in a very similar way. We have filters on the left, text object metrics on the right, with visualizations in the middle. To maximize screen real estate, we've created different views that can be toggled using the buttons in the lower left. To focus on one metric in particular, I'll call out an interesting insight we've had with internal collaboration. We have been able to break this metric into corrupt versus non-corrupt time. Within this metric, we've analyzed the collaborating departments and bucketed them into meaningful categories, which allows us to understand value-added collaboration, such as sales spending time with groups like sales engineering and base management, as opposed to other collaborations with groups like order entry and service delivery. We can then look for pain points within our sellers' collaboration, i.e. corrupt time, and create efforts for alleviation that will allow our sales professionals to spend more time focusing on Lumen's customers. This dashboard has been a collaborative effort between Enterprise Sales Enablement, our Sales Leadership and Operations Group, and our Microsoft partners. We are very excited to be using Microsoft Workplace Analytics in ways that will drive measurable value within our business and ultimately for our customers.
Thank you, Jason. We've now seen 3 examples of how Workplace Analytics offers business leaders and analysts not only built-in insights to help them navigate timely and critical business problems, but also a lot of freedom, so organizations can tailor their data to create insights that are even more powerful. And here's how it works.
It starts with access to unprecedented data. Microsoft 365 contains the largest graph of human activity and interactions at work ever created. As people use collaboration tools like chat, email, and calendar, those signals are captured in the Microsoft graph. This data is produced as the natural byproduct of the work people do every day. It's part of an ecosystem you already know and trust. As a Microsoft 365 service, it sits within your trust boundaries with privacy safeguards and protections for individuals. You are in control of your data. Combining this information with organizational context and other relevant data, such as employee engagement scores, sales performance, or other business outcomes, enables you to pinpoint successful work patterns and norms that lead to the outcomes you care about. It's more important than ever to ensure individuals, teams, and organizations are engaged, connected, and empowered to do their best work. Your insights will help you address critical questions, risks, and opportunities so that you can navigate the current disruption, recover throughout the uncertainties that lie ahead, and thrive as you plan for the future. Here's how Workplace Analytics protects your data. With world-class compliance, security, and privacy safeguards, we're proud to be part of the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Within Workplace Analytics, you control what data is used and by whom, easily applying your policies to your data and managing risk with audit logging. With aggregated and anonymized organizational data, views are de-identified, protecting personal data. And lastly, for insight at the individual level, we make it easy to adhere to GDPR regulations and keep personal insights private. The self-service solutions for analysts we discussed today, business continuity and return to work, are available now in Workplace Analytics, along with many others, such as insights about Microsoft Teams, a collaboration assessment and tracker, network influencer insights, and sales continuity. Soon, we'll have new network analysis metrics and interactive visuals, as well as enhanced Teams collaboration signals. For IT leaders and developers, we have improved organizational data handling and extended language support available now. Looking ahead, we'll provide developer extensibility and additional connectors for third-party applications. If you'd like to learn more about Workplace Analytics, ask your account manager about a Workplace Analytics workshop. You can find this session and other related sessions, as well as our blog, videos, and other resources at our website, aka.ms/productivity and wellbeing.
Thank you for watching.